Don't judge me, I'm still on holiday, okay? In 2021, January is an official holiday. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and this is the very first vlog entry for the new year. So yeah, 2020 is now officially over, but so is the holiday season. So yeah, hopefully everybody had a great holiday with their family. So when I was thinking of new video ideas to upload for the very first video, I was kind of at a loss. So I took a deep dive into my older scripts, and I found an old one that I had written back in December of 2019, which is absurd because it feels like such a long time ago. But when I read it, it felt very, very relevant in this time. I don't know how you guys spent your very first few days of 2021, but hopefully you guys had fun bringing in the new year. For me though, I had a little bit of an existential crisis and pretty much just spiraled for the first few days. And it was, I didn't want to do anything. I just stayed in bed all day. And yeah, it really comes to show that just because it's 2021 doesn't necessarily mean that things are different. I didn't feel refreshed. I didn't feel like there were so many opportunities for me to just grab. And yeah, so that's why I felt like that old video idea seemed really relevant in this time, because it's called getting out of a rut. And I feel like 2020 was just this really weird year, but at the same time it was kind of a rut that everybody experienced in that time. So yeah, again, it really comes to show that just because the dates have changed, it doesn't really bring that much significance, because at the end of the day, it's still us and what we want to do. So it's going to be up to us whether 2021 is going to be a much better year compared to 2020. So there's this thing Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, calls the circle of concern and the circle of influence. So basically, we as humans have a certain set of concerns, whether it's our health, our personal problems, our work or school life, the pandemic in general, But basically, these two circles dictate the things we have control over and the things we have zero control over. So in order to be proactive, you have to focus mainly on your circle of influence. So for example, right now, everybody's circle of concern is probably the pandemic, considering this is something we're experiencing globally. So your circle of influence could easily be exercising daily, or eating healthy, working on a new skill set, or just improving one that you already have, learning a new instrument. It could be anything, but basically this is all about focusing on things that you have control over. Honestly, this is what got me through the quarantine, because it's so easy to dwell on the pandemic, but it's just trying to survive every day. And these things definitely help. Just focusing on the things that you can do rather than the things that you can't do. Proactive people focus their efforts in the circle of influence. They work on the things that they can do something about. The nature of their energy is positive, enlarging and magnifying, causing their circle of influence to increase. Reactive people, on the other hand, focus their efforts in the circle of concern. They focus on the weakness of other people, the problems in the environment, and circumstances over which they have no control. As long as we are working in our circle of concern, we empower the things within it to control us. We aren't taking the proactive initiative necessary to effect positive change. The other thing basically is being reactive. So that's focusing mainly on your circle of concern. So that's basically dwelling about the pandemic. So that's basically just doing nothing because of it, which is what I did pretty much in the first few days of the new year. So it's not necessarily accepting the pandemic, it's more just not dwelling on it and just really trying to focus on the things that you can do. So for the sake of saving the new year, don't be afraid to try something new. So when you're in a rut, everything gets boring, everything is not interesting at all. Basically, it sucks. And trying out something new is really one way to help you get out of bed, to motivate you, because you want to see progress. And that can be anything. If you want to start out a new YouTube channel in 2021, go ahead. If you want to start learning photography, if you want to learn a new instrument, or just focus on one you already know how to play, yeah, just something to keep you going. Because honestly, like throughout the quarantine, one of the things that kept me going is learning how to play the piano. Just seeing progress when I practice and being able to play the songs that I've always wanted to play, that really helped me get out of bed. Just don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Organize your thoughts. One of the things that happens to me when I'm just like spiraling and just freaking out basically is my head is a buzz with all these things, whether it's just the problem itself and then I'm just overthinking and just my negative thoughts and feelings, you know, they're just going crazy. And one thing that really calms me down, other than a glass of wine, is writing it down. This really helps me gain perspective and just gain some mental clarity. So it's just not buzzing around in my head. I'm writing it down and I can see it. Just really helps me when I get really overwhelmed, which is something that happens so easily nowadays. One thing I've also noticed is that your physical surroundings play a big role in staying mentally organized, because how can you think straight if your space is an absolute mess? So for me, I always try to keep my space as neat as possible. So yeah, that might be able to help you as well. Surround yourself with good people. So this is something that's so obvious but still isn't said quite enough, but of course not literally, because we still are in the middle of a pandemic and, you know, social distancing. You can't really surround yourself with good people, but you get what I mean. It's time to leave all the negative energy, all the negativity in 2020. Just leave it there. Goodbye. But yeah, just having like one person or like a few people to be able to talk to and just help lift your spirits when you're feeling like absolute garbage can do so much. Allow yourself to rest. So one common thing that we always see is people getting burnt out because they're overworked or they're overstressed, and I've definitely been there. I'm pretty sure we all have. So it's always important to be able to take a step back from our daily routine and just breathe, you know, take a breather and rest. I know this is especially hard in quarantine because we aren't exactly doing all that much, but if you feel like you need to take a break, that's okay too. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have days where you don't want to do anything. You just want to binge watch your favorite shows and eat your favorite meals. Okay? That's fine. And the next and last one is directly correlated to this one, and it's discipline. It's directly related because rest is important, but it's also important to know when to stop. You can't just focus on your circle of concern and stop functioning. Rest is vital, but you have to have the discipline to keep going. And this is especially hard as well in this quarantine because, you know, sometimes I have a hard time getting out of bed and finding the motivation to do anything. But again, we can't stop functioning and just do nothing. It will be a waste of a completely good day. And again, it's okay to have bad days, but we have to have the discipline to keep going even when things get bad. So yeah, that's pretty much just my points in this video. And no, I'm not saying this because I have everything all together. As I said earlier, I just had a meltdown a couple of days ago, and these are things that I have to constantly remind myself on the daily. You know, some days I have good days where I'm super productive, I'm able to do so much, and some days I just crash and I just want to sleep all day and eat, you know, and that's fine too. So yeah, that's pretty much that for this video. Hopefully you guys got something from this. Like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the little bell notification button thing so you guys know whenever I upload a video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, everybody.